You know what? Let's do a tips and tricks that's just fun. I love digital sculpture, but I will always be into clay sculpture as well. Let's take a look at how easy it can be to sculpt with a potter's wheel approach in ZBrush.
So for this, I'm going to start with nothing but a default sphere that comes with ZBrush. If you don't have the Lightbox open, just go ahead and click on Lightbox. And then I'm going to pick the Dynamesh 128. If you have any file open that you want to save, make sure you do that before you open this. Okay, so a potter's wheel is radially symmetrical. So that means it has a vertical axis, and then whatever happens around it happens the same in 360 degrees all the way around. So the way we can do that is by going into Transform and turning on radial symmetry by hitting R. And then what we want to do is have that symmetry axis going up and down. So on the Y axis, I'm going to turn on Y, turn off X. And we also want to just create as many points on that radial axis as we possibly can for a really smooth effect. So I'm going to raise that all the way up to 100. And let's just try this out. I'm going to sculpt on the surface here. Okay, so you can see any sculpting we do has the same effect all the way around. Now it's a little bit jittery. You can see as I'm moving my cursor around, it kind of just pops into place here and there. So I'm going to hit Control Z to undo that. And what I want to do to fix that is by going into Stroke, and Lazy Mouse is on by default, and the lazy step is set a little too high, so I'm going to bring this down really low, something like 0.026 or something. So that's going to remove that effect of jitteriness. Okay, so from here, it's just about experimenting and having fun and playing with the different brushes. And this is a Dynamesh object. So if you start to notice it stretching out too far, you can see here underneath it's getting kind of pulled and stretched. You can just go ahead and refresh that Dynamesh by holding down Control, clicking and dragging in an open area. And then that resets the Dynamesh, and you can just go ahead and smooth those things out. So I just like to experiment and have fun with this, and just reset that Dynamesh. And whenever I start to get stretching artifacts, I can smooth any of that stuff out too. Another brush I like to use with this is the DAM standard. So I'm going to hit B, D, and S, or just click DAM standard there. And this can make nice, sharp ridges or creases. Can really help tighten things up. I'm going to go back to my standard brush now, BST. And just one other thing you might want to do is change the number of radial count. So maybe you want to create some sort of a pattern or effect that isn't quite so even all the way around. So with a smaller draw size, what you might do is just kind of put in little patterns like that. You can do all kinds of interesting things. So that's it. Not too challenging technically, but it's a great way to make a digital pottery look. And if nothing else, it's really fun.